Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gents. It's Corey Wesley coming to you live and in living color from New York, Harlem, to be exact. Welcome to Kitchen Table Talk with Corey Wesley. No, I'm not drinking no coffee today. Wow, how's everybody doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing pretty okay. I've been having a lot of conversations with my Caucasian brothers and sisters, and some of them are a little taxing because I don't feel that it's our responsibility as people of color to educate you or guide you in the process of learning about Black history or how we've arrived to this place or what you can do to add or help change this current climate. I see progress. I'm not sure how change will happen. And the reason why I say that is because change is going to take a long time. This is 400 years plus 50 of those years of systemic racism that is embedded in our foundation. It's a foundation that was created when my ancestors had no choice in the matter. So it's very difficult for a Black person to guide our Caucasian brothers and sisters in a direction of what they should do to change. I will say it, and I stand by what I say and believe. Black people, people of color, cannot dismantle racism. We cannot. It has to be our Caucasian white counterparts. It was created by their ancestors. And although those laws have changed over the years, they still are embedded with language and the idea that we are still living under a regime of slavery. We have been enslaved. The new context is get your knee off my neck. And that is actually what has happened in this country. We have been deprived of opportunities, certain civil rights, human rights, and it is our Caucasian brothers and sisters, and I'm very proud to see the frustration. But I'm glad that they're speaking up. But I see some videos, they are so frustrated at their followers or the people that they know who keep saying all lives matter. I see it in their eyes. They're frustrated because people just are starting to show their true colors. And it also is showing seeing the frustration in a Caucasian person's face when they are trying to convey what Black Lives Matter really mean and truly means. It's not a reward, but it's satisfying to see you finally say, see, we've been telling you, that's what we've been going through. Although it's not right or wrong, two wrongs don't make a right, sorry. However, it is this opportunity for our Caucasian brothers and sisters to stand up. However, what I would say is I can do my best to navigate, but I don't feel the need to share or tell someone how to help change this or fix it because we didn't create it. I don't know how to fix it because my ancestors didn't create it. However, what I can say is listen. Listen to Black American people of color and their experiences. Each one of us in this country have a racial story to tell. Listen to it. I think some Caucasian people overtalk. They don't listen. They talk, and they're missing the point. It's more about listening at this point and not in inserting yourself of wanting to make change, but actually doing the action, doing the work. Black Americans, people of color in this country have had to do the work themselves to survive. My mother had to teach me, don't get in the elevator with a Caucasian. At night, if you're the only two in the street, a Caucasian woman is in front of you, across the street. Put your Black phone in your wallet because a cop might think it's a gun. Don't wear a Black hoodie. My Caucasian brothers and sisters never had to learn those. And what that is survival skills. And we had to learn that over and over after death, we had to learn new skills. No one taught us that. We had to see it and we had to go out there and figure it out. So what I would say to my Caucasian brothers, it is your time to figure it out, not ours. I find that if you have a question, sure, ask an African American questions. If you are going to make mistakes, you are going to say something wrong, but hopefully you are connected with an African American, a person of color, that can guide you and say, no, that's not really the correct way. Here's how you might want to consider presenting it. That's what you should do, but you have to show the initiative. You can't keep asking black people, people of color, what should you do? How should I do this? What do I do? We had to figure out how to live and survive through this shit. Now it's your time to figure out how to fix this shit. How can you survive as a Caucasian person in this climate and affect change? That is the question you have to ask yourself, not asking a black person. It's insulting, it's rude, and it's pointless because it's frustrating. I do want change. But I also know that this change is going to take a very long time because this is embedded in our system. Our system is corrupt. But again, our forefathers of the country were not black. And if you engross yourself in black history, as I have, and I will be the first to tell you, we didn't learn as much of black history in school that we should know. And as a 48 years old, since Mr. Floyd's death, I have engrossed myself in black history, from James Baldwin to Malcolm X to Medgar Evers to Martin Luther King. And yes, Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks are the things that you know, but there is a plethora of storyboards that you can find out here on your own in order to educate yourself. I also think that listening to black individuals and their experience will give you more validation as you help the cause. Because then you will have reference points. You will have our experiences. Although some Caucasian people who are asking for help overtalk. They talk too much. They talk, and they layer and layer this discussion without listening. And I think they're passionate and they want to affect change. But I think the problem is that they're over talking where they're missing the person that they're asking or reaching out to their point. I think African Americans want to help, but I think we don't want to tell you what books to read and where you should go. Your best friend right now is Google, although again, connect with African Americans and listen to their stories. It's more about their stories because we've been shunned, told to shut up, we've been told that we were victims, and we then had to be pushed into a closet, and I put that perspective on for the LGBT because you've been pushed in a closet many of times. So what you're doing is we don't want to, be pushed in a closet any longer. However, it's time for our Caucasian brothers and sisters to actually come out the closet, show action, stop asking black people and over talking about what you want to do. Stop talking about it and just start acting. Listen. When you don't listen to the stories, you don't have true understanding of the various struggles, challenges that African Americans, people of color in this country face on a daily basis. And each one of our stories is fairly different, but there is one common thread: racism. I did write something that I wanted to share with you. I'm a proud black man from a family of men and women of color, and why Black Lives Matter. America has portrayed and taught Black America that black men are a threat. You've been told a lie. We're not drug dealers, thieves, or thugs. A thought process passed down from generation to generation. Americans' burden and disrespectful names have been ours to carry for centuries, decades, and still to this day. When will this change? today. George Floyd's death impacted me to the core. I know it was time for me to stop complying with society and rise up for what's right and start sharing the injustices I've experienced as a Black man in America, like many people of color who have been afraid to share their stories. Black men in America have a voice, but it's only been heard if we're screaming, "I can't breathe," for the world to hear in an unscrupulous place for people of color. You might not understand the Black experience, but they are killing people of color. And as a gay Black man in America, I'm frightened every day. I was attacked by 2 Caucasian men on 2 separate occasions. One attempted to rape me in my own home. They both threatened and challenged me to call the police. Why? They both knew the injustices and prejudices against Black men our society has toward men of color, and that most likely supersede the truth and mine, a Black gay man. Did I call the police? No. Why? Because Black lives don't matter in terms of the system, a system built and designed against my ancestors who had no say in the matter. Today, that system of racism still exists. Even if you don't want to believe it, it does, which is why I will scream, Black lives matter until my last breath, so I can prevent it from being I can't breathe. We need change. Change is going to take a while. I do see progress, but it's up to my Caucasian brothers and sisters to push for that change. I also urge my Black brothers and sisters, my people of color, to vote. Stop turning a blind eye when this goes down and goes in the shadow of darkness and life goes on. Then you don't feel that you have a voice to be heard. This is your opportunity to make your voice be heard. My Caucasian brothers and sisters, your responsibility is to push for change and stop asking your people of color, Black people, what you should do. We didn't know what to do in this world of racism, but we learned how to survive. It's your opportunity to learn how to survive in this climate. Wow, that was a little deep. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. What you gotta say? Anyway, as I close, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to Kitchen Table Talk. Today is the best day ever. Do you know why? Because you are a part of it. Remember, for every dime, every dollar, every breath you take, you are worth it. Remember to stay blessed, because you're already blessed. Thank you for tuning in to Kitchen Table Talk with Corey Wesley. That's me. Have a great day, everybody. Again, thanks for tuning in and listening.